Welcome to the stream, welcome to the stream, welcome to the stream. Sorry, closing this on my phone. It was very important that I did that. Okay, welcome to the stream. It's Tuesday. It's Higurashi proper stream. Though, if you were looking at the time of the clock right now, it's already quite late, so it's not actually going to be able to be a super long one. I think I said this last night. I think I even prepped letting you know that that was going to be the case tonight, that it was going to start late. And so, in theory, a short Higurashi Tuesday stream. But oh, don't worry, we've been reading Higurashi all week, so, and will continue throughout this week, so progress has been being made. Progress so much that we are now 2 of these arcs done. A million more to go. We've finished this one, Taraimawashi, I believe, and Tsukiotoshi. The next one we read is now down in the list, according to what I was being told. Miotsukushi PS2, denoting the version. I feel like I've seen some people refer to this as Matsuri, but I don't know exactly why. And then I also saw some people saying that some people don't even like calling it Matsuri, so I guess it's just a thing that's gonna remain a mystery to me. Not like I actually care, because like I said, as far as I understand, I think this PS2 is like the same thing as this, but this was the first kind of release of this arc, and then this, I think, has extra stuff in it, and was for a different console, maybe the Nintendo DS. This is all from memory, so it's probably all wrong, but something like that. Whatever the case, from what I understand, some people don't like the additions that were made in this one. So this is the more original or more faithful, but then it's missing some stuff from this. Character explanation, I don't fucking know. We're gonna read this. I think more than these two, I think this one's actually quite beefier. I think it's on the beefier side. So it's gonna take some time, but it's fine. We won't get too deep into it tonight, like I said. But tomorrow's Wednesday night, and the plan is to continue reading more Higurashi tomorrow, so we'll read more. The Higurashi machine demands it. Just like with all these other arcs, not really familiar with what is contained within them. It's a mystery to me. Miotsukushi PS2 waterway exhausting surface. This arc is an alternate ending for the entire series. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Potentially very interesting. It should be read after completing Chapter 8. We've done that. Miotsukushi PS2 is the same arc as Miotsukushi... I don't know if that's... I've always in my head, I've never had to say it out loud, but Omote or Emote? Omote? I want to say Emote. Emote probably is not correct. Maybe it is. It's one of those. It's probably Emote or Emote. I'm going to say Emote for now. It's like emote, but Omote. But with plot-related changes from the PS3 version reverted, so you can experience the story as it was originally written. Okay, so there's your explanation. Plot-related changes from the PS3 version reverted. The club members give it their all in an attempt to solve all the problems in Hinamizawa and carve a path to the happy future. Sounds great to me. Let's go. This arc includes choices that result in dialogue changes and can lead to bad ends. Do I want to see these choices? Yes? Oh, okay, good. We've seen this kind of like choice before. I think... What did I do last time when we were given this? I think I said prompt choices and highlight the correct answers. Because then we can easily see which one we should be picking. Skip choices, proceed toward the good ending. Well, we want to see the different endings most likely, yeah? But I want to know what I'm picking. I think I'd probably rather see bad endings first. And I think what we did back when, I think this was a choice that we could have made during the main 8 story arcs. And there was a commenter that was like, it might be best to like get the good ending thing, the true ending, and then like if you want to go back. And I think I did that. But I think with this, especially if it's a different story arc, I think I'd probably lean towards seeing the bad first and then going back. But when we get the choice, maybe I'll have my mind changed. I don't know. But yeah, who needs to play the guessing game? They're probably quite easy choices, and even if they're not, I'd rather just know what I'm picking. So let's prompt the choice and then... Because I want to see the bad endings, you know? I want to see them. It's so warm. I wonder why. So this is an alternate ending to the whole series, which is kind of interesting. I'm interested. My interest is piqued. I wonder why. Just gazing at her makes me feel the gentle warmth from deep within my heart. It feels nice. Why though? Even though I can't reach out and touch her, somehow just having her nearby makes me feel at ease. Being able to float by that girl's side, it reaches both my body and my heart. She doesn't know anything. She doesn't understand anything. She spoke the words that she learned just now out of her pure white, clear memory. And yet, she was so inarticulate, the words drifted so far from their original meaning that they couldn't even reach me. She was flustered and tried again, but the end result was the same. And so, she stopped speaking with a slight look of disappointment on her face. Seeing that, I gently approached her and listened closer. I couldn't quite hear what she was trying to convey. No, maybe the meaning wasn't in her words. Still, my heart throbbed when I heard that voice. I could feel the warmth coursing through my entire body. Couldn't help but feel nostalgic. Yes, I'm sure it was something very important, something precious that I lost long ago. And so, before I knew it, I'd stretched both my hands out to receive some proof of that, as I boldly called out to that voice. I don't want to let go. I want us to be together forever. Wherever you are, I hope that wish somehow reaches you. However, who could have expected that thought would be the beginning of her long, arduous, and painful journey? Right, even a god couldn't. Because I... As I woke up, I found myself lying on a futon. Warm sunlight came shining in from beyond the window. Yawn. Morning already? I could hear the faint chatter of birds outside the window, and the voice of the cicadas echoed along with them, like the sound of drizzling rain. Question mark? The comforter felt terribly heavy, and the futon was extremely large. Did I really have something like this? No, that wasn't it. The ceiling was higher than usual. Plus, there were no leaky water stains, and the grain on the wood was clear and easy to see. This is a room I don't know. No, it's not quite right. The ceiling is definitely still somewhere in the depths of my memory. I've just forgotten because it was so long ago, but it's taking some time to recollect. Okay, yeah, come to think of it, I never did like that design. When was that from? Before long, my consciousness came back to me and I sensed the faint aroma of incense. That too felt so familiar. I still felt drowsy as I rose up out of the futon. Then, a white towel fell right in front of my eyes, and my forehead started to feel hot as soon as it dropped. A dull, heavy pain, a nauseous sensation coursed from the nape of my neck to the back of my head. I picked up the towel lying on top of the comforter. It was cold. As soon as I felt that, I realized I realized what I was doing in bed here. Right. This is my house. The Furude house that I haven't visited in so long. Not since moving in together with Satoko. And this was my room. Just audio just slightly. Yup. Right there's fine. Somehow I understood. I'm sure this world is a dream where the gears of time have been rewound. How nostalgic. I was feeling unusually sentimental. After all this time and having so many dreams, how long has it been since I thought about this room? And that desk, and that clock, and that terrible portrait of my mother that I worked so hard to draw back in kindergarten. Even though I never thought about it, I saw it all. I remembered it all so fondly. A strange sensation was emanating from my chest, but I'd never say it was unpleasant. Oh! I suddenly noticed something in the corner of my sight and crawled out of the futon. I felt a little dizzy as I stood up, and my footsteps felt unsteady as I walked closer, but then I picked it up. Long time no see. How have you been? I gently hugged it and kissed the tip of its nose. It was nothing special, just a teddy bear, but it was precious because my mother gave it to me. After my mother went missing, I could never find it. When I saw a teddy bear on display at a festival stall as a prize for a shooting game, I almost thought that was my old one, having come back to me, but that couldn't be. That's right. Then I noticed a sound coming from beyond the sliding door to the kitchen. The satisfying sound of vegetables being cut with a kitchen knife. And on top of that, I could hear the faint sound of something simmering in a pot, probably rice porridge being made for me. And I could see the silhouette of a person standing beyond the screen at the door. Ooh, I love the vegetable cutting ASMR. Mom? It was only a shadow, but there was no way I could mistake it. My chest painfully tightened. It was so nostalgic, my thoughts were running wild. The back of my throat was trembling. A figure I was trying to forget. Bitter memories came back of the sadness, the aggravation, and the love I felt for her. All of that was right there behind that door. I wanted to open the door. I wanted to open it, jump out, and hug her from behind. And then I wanted to see her face warped with surprise, followed by her rebuking and scolding me, yet still looking back at me with a gentle smile. However, that was impossible. This dream will probably end once I open that door. No, that's not right. Maybe my mother wouldn't even smile for me anymore. That fear and anxiety prevented me from taking a step closer. The reincarnation of Oyashiro-sama. As much as the village elders admired and respected me, that very notion was causing the distance between my mother and me to grow wider and wider. I just wanted her to admit it. More than anyone else, I wanted her to understand that my friend Hanyu was always by my side. The reason I was better at cooking than everyone else, or the way I could predict things before they happened. I had no desire to flaunt that I was special. It was my friend who taught me that. The reason I could do all these things was that, the reason I could do all these things that nobody ever taught me was because I always had her by my side. And so, I tried to tell her at every opportunity, and I wanted her to believe that what I was saying, but my mother wasn't happy with that. In fact, it creeped her out, and it made her distrust me. I was sad at first, so I tried as hard as I could to make her understand. But when I realized it was futile, I got upset. Why? Why? Even though you're my family, my mother. I thought you were the only one person who could understand, even if nobody else would. You were supposed to understand I wasn't lying, no matter how crazy it sounded, and be there to comfort me. And yet, you... How foolish. That's not it. Looking back at my past self was strange and disheartening. Right, it wasn't just my mother's fault. Even though she was being conceited with her assumptions and the way she spoke, she was just being a mother, worrying about me and doing her best to care for me. If I hadn't said anything in the first place, it would have ended there. If she saw me acting my age, being delighted and throwing temper tantrums, I'm sure my mother would have loved me and treated me as kindly as she did in the beginning. If only I had taken it more slowly while trying to explain Hanyu to her. She's my mother after all, so I'm sure she would have come to understand one day. I can believe that now. Nevertheless, I was unable to do that. I was the one who gave up. I was sulking and acting cold, and on the other hand, I was showing off and looking down at her. But how does someone feel when you do that to them? By the time I considered that, it was already too late. Even with Hanyu's power, I couldn't go back far enough to try again. How lonely. Even now, it's just so lonesome. But... Even so,
お母さん。
Mom. All I could do was apologize to her. That would be enough. I just wanted to let her know, by any means. I'm sorry for enjoying rainy days. I'm sorry for not liking the lunches you prepared. I'm sorry for not reciprocating your love. And...
お母さんのことくてごなさい。
Mom, I'm sorry. With that thought in mind, I slid the door open. Then, I woke up. I could hear the faint sound of crickets chirping. This was a house I'd grown accustomed to living in, detached from the Kimiyoshi household. Satoko noises. I could see Satoko sleeping quietly in the futon lined up right beside mine. The moonlight pouring in through the window slightly illuminated the dusky room.
そうか。
Oh, right. My groggy mind and my fuzzy memories cleared right up. I remembered I had just come back through time, and had returned to that time period. Right. I've arrived at the tragedy of Inamizawa. The fun, lively time I spent with my friends up until that point, full of casual daily repetition, but with one key difference.
高野。ミオ。
Mio Takano. This time I could remember it clearly. The true culprit, who tore my belly open and killed me. The one who used the curse of Oshiro-sama to trample on our friend's thoughts. The one whose wretched plan has kept me locked in this prison. Our true enemy. At one point I relied on her, just a little bit. I used to think she was a kind and gentle person who cared about Satoko and me. But... Moon. Mio Moon. But that's all in the past. As long as that woman exists, my friends and I can never be happy. This time I swear I'll stop her. From making me repeat this crazy world. I was finally starting to cool off. It's been a long time since I've gotten this emotional. I guess it's because I witnessed that happen to Kechi and the others last time.
そうだ。
Right. I lifted my body out of the futon and then called out to the friend who was always by my side.
羽生。今はいつ？
Hanyu, what day is it now?
昭和何年の何月何日？
What year, month, and day? I asked that same question right at the start every single time. How much time did I have before the fateful day I've been unable to avoid until now? That time period was gradually shrinking, giving me less and less time to spend on making preparations. But this time, things are a little different. I know now who is a friend and who is an enemy. That was a key factor that I never had in any of the prior worlds. I don't yet know how to fight it. I still don't know if I can win, if I can escape from this curse of fate.
それでも
But even so, feels like I can see a faint light that I could never see before. It was like looking down a long dark tunnel. The light seemed almost small enough to be consumed by the surrounding darkness, but it was a strong, powerful light. So, I'll keep fighting. I rose to my feet and stepped forward, stoutly swinging my fist. But in order to do that, I needed to know how much time I had left.
羽生
Hanyu? That's odd. I can't hear her. Her voice isn't there. No, not just that. There weren't any signs of her presence at all. Even though she was always talking to me, sometimes enough to make me feel uncomfortable.
羽生
Hanyu,
どうしたの羽生
what's the matter? Hanyu? This is weird.
羽生
Hanyu? This has never happened before.
羽生
Hanyu! Hanyu isn't answering.
羽生
Hanyu! Hanyu isn't here?
羽
Hanyu!
生どうかしましたのリカ
What's wrong, Rika? Came back to my senses. I had suddenly started shouting, forgetting that Satoko was sleeping right beside me.
夜中に変な声を上げて
You're shouting weird things in the middle of the night.
どこかお加減でも悪いのでございますか？
Is something wrong?
なんでもないのですよ。
Me. It's nothing.
悪い夢を見てしまったようなのです。
Guess I was just having a bad dream. I awkwardly laughed it off with my usual speech habits. This was bad. I was so shaken up that I couldn't make the switch all too well.
そう。はあ、
Okay.
気にしないで眠ることでございますわよ。
Acting. Don't worry about it. Please go back to sleep.
そうするのです。
Me. I will.
お休みなのです。
Good night.
おやすみなさいませ。
Good night.
夢なら忘れてしまえば済むことなんですわ。
It was just a dream, so once you forget it, that'll be the end of that. Satoko was already half asleep as she said that, then quickly closed her eyes and went back to sleep. After seeing that, I quietly climbed out of bed and ran outside.
羽生、聞こえないの？
Hanyu.
羽生、
Hanyu, can you hear me? Hanyu,
返事をして。
answer me! I desperately called out to the void around me. She was always by my side. No matter where I went, what I did, or what I was thinking, I always understood that. And yet, this time, why?
羽生、
No, Hanyu. Hanyu! I looked up at the sky in bewilderment. The moon was shining down on me through the dark sky. The night sweats combined with the chilling evening breeze made it feel like all the blood in my body had frozen over, and I began trembling. I had finally reached a world where hope was in sight. My enemy was in sight, and their goal, even though I still didn't know how things would end. Wait, my enemy was in sight, and their goal, even though I still don't know how things would end. Okay, I got it. And I was able to believe in my incredible friends. I'm not alone. Rino's here, plus Mion, Shion, Satoko, and Kechi. I wanted to believe that by combining our strength, I could be allowed to hope for what could be our final chance. And yet, despite that,
羽生、
Hanyu, my greatest ally, who wasn't reliable at all, but who still managed to maintain my peace of mind all this time, does not exist in this world. Sad. I need Hanyu, though. Oh, we get a thing? Oh, nice. Oh, here we go, dude. A new thing? Uh. Chie doesn't belong there. Get out of there. Alright. I feel it. The classroom immediately filled with lively lunchtime clamor. Groups of friends clustered together and opened their lunchboxes, then began picking at one another's side dishes. Of course, our club members were no exception to that. Alright, lunchtime! Come on, Rina, bring your desk over. I quickly tucked away my textbooks and notebooks and turned my desk around. Rina had already pulled her massive lunchbox out and was ready and waiting for that signal to move her desk into position. Whoa, that's a huge lunchbox today, Rina. It was an unthinkable amount for a single person. Of course, we knew from the start that it wasn't just for her, so we all bustled and surrounded her lunchbox. I made this lunch today hoping everyone would eat it. Today's lunch is the Rina Meatball Special. Meatball. Rina popped the lid open with a huge smile on her face as she said that. Meatballs. Whoa! What an appetizing color, luster, and aroma. A huge mound of meatballs was carefully stacked and neatly decorated to match the surrounding vegetables. How is it? How is it? I worked really hard last night to prepare these, and I think I made something really cute. I was having so much fun that I ended up making a little too much. No, not just a little. It'd be more appropriate to call it a heaping mound of meatballs. Oh, yeah. Still, even a portion this size would be powerless before my ferocious demon-like appetite. With my hungry heart, I could kill this in seconds. Leave it to me, Irina. I'll happily accept all your hard work. Just don't eat it all. This is for everyone to share. Yeah, it's not right to keep it all to yourself, Ki-chan. Article 9 of the club rule states that an equal playing field is a principal element of competition. Hey, I've been wondering this for a while now, but just how many rules are there anyway? Why don't you show me the list? Mion brushed it off with a laugh. She probably came up with them on the spur of the moment and had nearly forgotten them all. And I was sure there were plenty of duplicate rules. Hey, Mi-chan, are you going to eat some too? I'm feeling really confident today. Oh, alright then. If you're that confident, then this old man will have to try some. Come on, Satoko, move your desk over. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Terribly sorry, but meatballs are a favorite of mine as well. Prepare yourself, Kechi-san. I won't allow you to take a single bite. What are you blathering about? I made a sideways glance at Satoko, who still didn't even have her chopsticks out yet, and then charged ahead, grabbing a meatball smothered in plenty of sauce. Come on, Satoko, the key is to make the first move. Chie-sensei's walking around stark naked. Oh, come on. Nani! Yoink! By the time I realized what happened, it was too late. Satoko had already intercepted the meatball at the end of my chopsticks. Damn it! Damn you, Satoko. You struck the moment I bore my heart! You mustn't let your guard down. The very first meatball is always the most delicious.
己里子
Satoko, you snake!
嘘つきは泥棒の始まりなんだぞ
Telling lies is the first step down the path of thievery.
いや、今ので引っかかったケイちゃんこそアホだと思うけどね。
Seems to me like she got the better of you, Ki-chan, and now you're making a fool of yourself.
ケイチくんも男の子なんだね。はあ。
Keiichi-kun, you're such a boy. How...
仕方ないだろ
Whoa, what else could I do?
ひょっとしたらもしかしたらの可能性についついすがってしまう純粋な少年の心を分かってくれよ
A true young man's heart has to pursue any chance, any possibility. You gotta understand.
ああ、はいはい。
Right.
純真スケベな男心ね。
The truly filthy heart of a man.
わかったわかった。
I get it.
えんがちゃ。
Keep your filth away from me. Hey, wait a minute. Don't glare at me like that. Oh, ho.
さて、ケイチさんがダメージを受けてる間に、私はさらにミートボールをいただきましたよ。
Now then, I'll make my move and enjoy these meatballs while Keiichi-san is taking damage.
なん
What'd you say?
それでは、いただきまーす。
Anyway, thank you for the food.
はーい、残念。
Sorry, hold it right there.
そうはいかないです、さとこ。
Can't let you do that, Satoko.
あ
A hand grabbed Satoko by the collar as she tried to rush toward the mountain of meatballs. When Satoko looked back, startled, she found Shion standing behind her with a smile on her face.
シオンさん、
Shion-san,
今日もいらしてたんですの？
you're here today too?
言ったじゃないですか。
Didn't I tell you?
さとこの食生活を守るために当分私が面倒を見るって。
Satoko, for the time being, I'm going to have to supervise your eating habits.
ほら。
Now look here. Shion raised the heavy box she was carrying as she said that. The moment Satoko noticed that, she started carefully edging back toward the wall.
その中身はまさか。
No way, is that...
明らかに最近のさとこは野菜が不足しています。
Evidently, Satoko hasn't been eating enough vegetables these days.
なので特別にかぼちゃ弁当を用意させてもらいました。
And so, I prepared a special squash lunchbox. Nah.
うわそりゃいじめだぞシオン
Wow, Shion's up to her usual torment. As I said that, for the first time, it felt like Shion was an angel of justice for delivering punishment on Satoko rather than me. Ah, guess God really does exist. Lord have mercy on me.
さあさとこ、
Come on, Satoko.
あなたの昼食はこっちですよ。
Got your lunch right here. Meanwhile, Satoko was shaking and crying out, blue in the face with tears in her eyes, like in the scream.
ふわはかぼちゃは嫌ですの。
I hate squash.
ふわ
Wah.
ほら、そのかぼちゃ嫌いはダメです。
Look, you can't hate squash.
かぼちゃはですね、栄養価にとても優れているんです。
Squash is very nutritious and good for you.
育ち盛りのさとこは特に栄養に気を使わないといけないんですよ。
You're still growing, Satoko, so you have to be especially mindful of your nutrition, okay?
私の目の黒いうちは変色を認めないので、その覚悟でお願いします。
I've made a resolution. As long as I live, I won't allow you to eat an unhealthy diet.
ほう、シオンが珍しく正論言ってる。
Oh, Shion talking sense. How unusual.
失礼なこと言いますね、お姉は。
That's a terrible thing to say, sis.
ほらほら、みんなもどうぞどうぞ。
Alright, everyone, help yourselves.
ほこほこのかぼちゃって甘くて美味しいんですよ。
After all, there's nothing more sweet or delicious than some nice, crunchy squash. When Shion held out the heavy box and opened the lid, we all took a piece one by one and tossed them into our mouths. It's actually pretty good.
ほんとだ。
Ah, it really is.
出汁が染みてていい感じ。
Soaking in dashi gives a nice flavor.
甘くてとっても美味しい。
Yup, it's sweet and extra delicious. Mia and Arena both smacked their lips together. Don't see this as merely boiled and mashed squash. I said that weird. Don't see this as merely boiled and mashed squash. Without properly pickling squash and dashi, you can't produce this taste and texture. You've really done it, Shion. First time you brought squash salad, it was so hard and undercooked, even I pitied anyone eating it. to have come this far.
こりゃいけるな。
This is awesome!
かぼちゃの甘みが嫌味なく、それでいて絶妙で。
The sweetness of the squash is absolutely exquisite.
さとこ、お前は食うな、もったいない。
Satoko, don't bother eating any. It would be wasted on you.
なんですって？
What did you say?
かぼちゃは嫌いですけど、言い方が気に入りませんわ。
I may not like squash, but I don't like the way you said that.
そら言った言った。
Come on, try some.
一口にガバッと言ってみなよ。
Try just a bite. It was a clear provocation, but Satoko Hojo didn't budge. She furrowed her eyebrows while mentally preparing herself. Yep.
ほらね、
You see?
美味しいでしょ？
Isn't it tasty?
まあその
Well,
食べれなくもないですわね。
it's not inedible. Satoko craned her head in surprise, as if considering whether or not to have another. As soon as she witnessed that, Shion smiled and went, "Goo!" while making a victory pose. But as soon as she made eye contact with me, she awkwardly coughed and her face warped into a cynical smile.
どうですどうです？
So, how is it?
少しは見直しましたか？
Have you reconsidered your opinion?
まあこれくらいの味ならちょっとは。
Well, if it tastes like this, then maybe just a little more would be okay.
まあ最初が強烈だったからね。
True, her initial squash was pretty intense.
短期間でここまでとは大したもんだよ。
That was a great deal of progress in a short period of time.
当たり前です。
Naturally,
さとこがかぼちゃ嫌いを克服できるように日夜研究してますので。
I've been studying day and night to help Satoko overcome her hatred of squash.
さて、この調子で今年中にナス、ピーマン、アスパラガスと制覇していきましょう。
Now then, at this pace, we should be able to conquer eggplant, bell peppers, and asparagus by the end of the year. Bob. Satoko choked out a cough. Shion turned toward her in an unnatural manner and offered a glass of tea with a devilish smile on her face.
はいはい。
All right,
そんなに慌てなくても、まだかぼちゃは山のようにありますよ。
as long as you got it together, there's still a mountain of squash over here.
冗談はごめんですわ。
Don't even joke about that.
何が悲しくて楽しい昼休みに苦行を積まなくてはいけないんですな。
Do I really have to endure all this hardship?
苦行じゃないですよ。
Hardship, you say?
監督も言ってたじゃないですか。
Didn't Coach tell you something about that?
辛いなと思ったら、自分が厳しい指導を受けているメイドの気分になりなさい。
If things get painful, just imagine you're a maid serving under a strict master.
そうすれば、すべてがハッピーに思えてくるでしょうって。
If you do that, you'll feel happy about everything.
だからさとこは自分がメイドになったと思えばすべて解決。
So, Satoko, everything will be as fine as long as you picture yourself as a maid. What? What on earth is Coach's logic there? Was he trying to steer her into becoming a maid? I've always thought he was a good person, ever since I saw him helping out the baseball team, but I'm really starting to wonder if it's alright to rely on him when it comes to educating children. How?
メイドのさとこちゃん、
How?
お持ち帰り。
Maid Satoko-chan, I want to take her home with me. And here she comes now.
というわけでさとこ、
Which means, Satoko,
メイドの心構えで何事もレッツチャレンジです。
as long as you can get into a maid's mindset, you can take on any challenge.
何ですかそれは。
What is this?
そんな奇妙奇て烈な論理は見たことも聞いたことも食べたこともございませんわ。
Never in my life have I seen, heard, or eaten anything that absurd.
考えてはいけません。
Don't think about it.
感じるのです。
Just feel it.
シオン、
Shion,
いつから無双転生に目覚めたのさ。
how long have you been acting on these aspirations to reinvent her?
そう、1年前から。
Since about a year ago? Shion immediately switched back to normal. How she's able to do that is something the world may never know. Does something burst inside her head?
大体
Anyway,
そもそも別の学校のシオンさんがなんでこの時間にここにいらっしゃるんでございますか。
don't you go to another school, Shion-san? What are you even doing here at this hour?
他人のことを管理する前にまずはご自分の管理をしっかりなさいませ。
Sort out your own misbehavior before you start telling other people what to do. Sensing an escape route, Satoko retorted with her best argument. But of course, that line of reasoning was ineffective against an outlaw like Shion, so she scornfully laughed at Satoko and made her shrink back.
でもしーちゃん、これでもう1週間でしょ？
But, Shi-chan, this makes it a week in a row, doesn't it?
そろそろ沖宮の学校もいい加減黙ってないと思うけど、大丈夫なの？
I don't think the Okinomiya school will keep quiet about this. Is it really okay to be here?
ああ、平気です。
Yeah, it's fine.
適当に出欠調整してくれることになってますので。
The attendance records will be adjusted accordingly.
調整って、あんたまさか。
Did you just say you're adjusting attendance records?
園崎の名前と力をもってすれば、学校一つちょろいちょろい。
Your school is hardly an obstacle with the power of the Sonozaki family name.
超法規的措置を使うとは。
That's completely legal. Shion had a calm look on her face as she said something so dreadful. Indeed. Indeed. Not indeed. I think it's indeed. That'd be a piece of cake with the power of the Sonozakis. No, more importantly, this is Shion. She'd probably already prepared a huge volume of blackmail against her teacher, or even the principal. No doubt about it, she's a frightening person to make an enemy of.
というわけで、聡子の心配はノープロブレムです。
So, Satoko's concern is really no problem at all.
お気遣いなく。
Don't worry about me.
なら私が沖宮の学校に転校しましてよ。
Then I'm going to transfer to the Okinomiya school.
ああ、ならもっと好都合ですね。
Ah, that would be even more convenient.
私の運転手、登下校に使ってもいいですよ。
My driver could pick you up and drop you off, you know. Huh?
通いましょうか、私の学校に。
How about it? Let's go to my school.
一緒に。
Together.
冗談は寄せ鍋ちゃんこ鍋でございますわ。
Your jokes are totally inappropriate.
おっと、
Tisk, tisk.
進歩がありませんね、まったく。
We're not making any progress at all. All of Satoko's objections were immediately bounced back at her, so she began to run away half in tears. But Shion quickly cut off the escape route and chased her into the corner of the classroom.
今日も賑やかだね。
Sure. It's really lively today. Indeed, this was starting to turn into a regular occurrence. Nowadays, the students have been betting anime and baseball cards among each other about how long it takes Shion to catch Satoko. In fact, Mion went up to the blackboard where the younger students were gathered and quickly jotted down a table of the odds like a professional bookie.
さあさあ、あと3分以内なら3倍。
Okay, listen up. Under 3 minutes is 3 to 1 odds.
10分なら5倍。
10 minutes is 5 to 1.
見事逃げおせるならなんと500倍だ。
If she successfully escapes, it's 500 to 1.
持ってるカードの受付はもうすぐ締め切るよ。
Hand in your cards right away. Got it? Taking charge even here, huh, Mion? As she said that, Satoko had been pushed with her back against the locker, unable to move to her left, right, or backwards. She'd been chased into checkmate position. Shion was an opponent even beyond Mion. Even for someone like Satoko, she couldn't get a proper footing.
諦めろ聡子、相手が悪すぎる。
Give it up, Satoko. You're outmatched.
シオンもそろそろ許してやれよ。
And Shion, it's time to forgive her.
ダメです。
Not happening.
サトシ君から頼まれている以上、健康管理は私の担当です。
It's my job to take care of her health. Satoshi-kun's orders.
好き嫌いは許しませんから、そのつもりで。
I can't let her be picky. Well, I do think that level of responsibility deserves praise, but did Satoshi really ask you to go this far? Though I've never met Satoko's older brother before, I could briefly imagine him violently shaking his head to chase off the thought.
でも最近のしーちゃん、本当にさとこちゃんのお姉ちゃんみたいだよね。
But these days, Shi-chan really does seem like Satoko's sister.
ああ、なんならトレードしてあげるよ。
Ah, in that case, I'll offer to trade.
私いらない、ポイだから。
I have no need for one.
でも目的のためには手段を選ばずってとこなんかやっぱりみーちゃんの兄弟だよね。
The way you'll do anything to accomplish your goals really makes you feel like Mi-chan's sister. Rina, did you intend that to sound like praise? Mion looks disgusted.
どうしたのみーちゃん。
What's the matter, Mi-chan?
何か変なこと言ったかなかな
Did I say something weird? Did I?
自覚のないやつに怒ってもしょうがないでしょ。
There's no point in getting mad at someone who doesn't even realize what she's done.
だいたい私はあそこまで高圧外交じゃない。
Besides, I'm not as high-handed as her.
一緒にされたら迷惑千番だよ。
It's embarrassing to be lumped with her.
確かにお姉はヘタレ街道まっしぐらですもんね。
True, Sis is heading straight down the path to becoming a loser.
誰がヘタレだ。
Who are you calling a loser? Huh?
まあこの世の中、お姉流で言えば勝てば官軍ってやつですよ。
Well, to put it more into your words, Sis, might is right.
切り札は無限に持って、そして使ってこそ意味がある。
If you're carrying an infinite supply of trump cards, it makes perfect sense to use them.
違いますか？
Am I wrong?
ピク
That statement got an immediate reaction. From Mion and from one other person.
ほう。
Oh.
今の言葉、二言はないね。
So you stand by what you just said now?
ん？
Yes.
ないですよ。
Yes, that's right.
それがどうしました？
What's that supposed to mean?
というわけみたいだよ。さとこ！
And that's how it is. Satoko!
ん？
Shion turned back from Mion's boisterous laughter to face Satoko. Then, with her face still looking down, Satoko plunged her hand back into the locker and pulled something out.
シオンさんおっしゃいましたわね。
Shion-san, what was it you just said?
切り札は使ってこそ意味があると。
If you're carrying a trump card, it makes perfect sense to use it?
さとこ？
Satoko.
では、こ
Then,
れはどうでございますか？
what do you think of this? Then, with a look that suggested her earlier half-crying was all an act, Satoko held out her hand to display it right before Shion's eyes. Eek. The moment Shion recognized what it was, the smile immediately vanished from her face. Yes, the thing Shion was so afraid of was a can with genuine beef curry printed on the side. What? Satoko? Oh, ho, 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 ho,
形
ho.
勢逆転でございますわ。
My, how the tables have turned! Satoko let out a huge laugh as she declared her plan a success. If things go like usual, even if Satoko managed to escape, Shion will still catch her shortly thereafter, forcing her to eat vegetables while screaming and crying. But today, she coaxed Shion to follow her toward the lockers, making Shion think her movement options were limited. All for this?
さあ、先ほど好き嫌いは許さないとおっしゃいましたわね。
Now then, you mentioned earlier that you shouldn't be picky, right?
ならばシオンさんもこの缶詰のカレーを食べてくださいまし。
If so, Shion-san, please have some of this canned curry.
そうすれば私もナスだろうがピーマンだろうがアスパラガスでも食べてみせますわ。
If you can do that, then I'll try the eggplant, the bell peppers, and even the asparagus. Ooh.
さあ、さあさあさあさあ。
Come on, come on, come on! It was a totally one-of-a-kind scene. Satoko had finally regained her composure, and once she held up the can like a police badge, the normally high-handed Shion took one step back after another, overwhelmed. And what's more, it's a flavor of curry that nearly everyone in the class loves.
どうしたのしーちゃん。
What's wrong, Shi-chan?
ひょっとしてカレー嫌いなの？
Do you hate curry?
そっか、レナは知らなかったんだね。
I guess you don't know, Reina.
シオンは缶詰が大嫌いなんだよ。
Shion totally hates canned food. As soon as Shion heard that, her shoulders twitched like she recoiled back.
さてはお姉、そのことをサトコに。
Sis, you told Satoko?
部活第2条。
Article 2 of the club rules?
勝利のためならどんなことでも許されるですわ。
Anything is permitted in the pursuit of victory.
お姉、
Sis,
何の恨みがあってこんなことを。
what did I do to deserve this?
ふーん、 恨みつらみはそれこそ星の数だけど。
Do you have more complaints than there are stars in the sky?
とりあえず面白いかなーって。
But the truth is, I just thought it'd be fun. That's right. This is Mion we're talking about. She's totally the kind of person to do this.
あとさ、私サトコが逃げ切るに勝負かけてるから。
Plus, I bet on the Satoko escapes outcome.
悪いね。
Sorry.
みーちゃん、それインサイダー取引だよ。
Mi-chan, that sounds like insider trading.
問題なし。すべて想定の範囲だよ。
It's not a problem. This is all within reasonable expectations. Mion kept her cool, even as Rina thrust accusations at her. Oh!
よく覚えておくことですわ。
Remember this well.
切り札は最後の最後に取っておくものなんでございましてよ。
Always save your trump cards for the final moment.
やれやれサトコ。
Go get her, Satoko!
今日こそは初勝利だ。
Seize your first victory!
さあ、食べてくださいまし、シオンさん。
Come on, eat it, Shion-san.
好き嫌いはよくありませんわ。
It's not good to be picky.
さあ、
Come on.
さあさあ。
Come on, come on.
そんな栄養も偏ったジャンクフード、缶詰でなくても願い下げです。
It's about nutrition. I'm not going to eat that junk food in a can.
うわー、バカー。
Whoa, you idiot! Oh,
言っちゃったね。
you really said it, huh?
え？
Huh? Stomp, 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 stomp. Swoosh. The moment the door vigorously swung open, I could see the person standing on the other side. Uh-oh.
ああ。
Every single person in this classroom, no, all except one, immediately began to pray. Yes, begging forgiveness for the poor lamb who committed blasphemy before God.
あなた、園崎シオンさん？
You are Shion Sonozaki-san?
ええ。
Huh? Yeah,
そうですけ
that's right.
ど。
That's right, but... Slowly, and without making a sound. No, in fact, quite the opposite. In the blink of an eye, Chie-sensei moved within half a centimeter of Shion's face and shot a piercing glare straight into her eyes, with ectoplasm dribbling from her lips. It was far too much for Shion to bear, so she began to inch backwards, but Chie-sensei then grabbed her by the head and wouldn't let go. This is silly.
本当にそっくりね。
You look so much alike.
ミオンさんと
You and Mion-san.
性格も思考も同じなのかしら。
But I have to wonder if your personality and way of thinking are really so similar. Having said that, Chie-sensei's neck squeaked as she slowly and deliberately turned her head toward Mion, like something out of The Exorcist. Even though Mion had done nothing herself worthy of blame, as soon as their eyes met, she stood up completely straight and vigorously shook her head side to side while sweating out a waterfall.
違います。
That's not true. Oh, excuse me, we're not...
そいつと私は全然。
Oh, it's so late, I'm so tired. Sorry about the yawning. We're completely different.
そりゃもう正反対の水と油で、
We're totally opposites, like water and oil.
水素と酸素のように混ぜたら危険、食べたら死ぬでってやつです。
Dangerous combination, like hydrogen and oxygen. If you eat it, you'll die.
そう。
I see. And then, Chie-sensei flashed a broad smile. A smile cold enough to freeze an active volcano, then turned back toward Shion. The one person here who didn't know this Lord of Terror was finally beginning to sense the impending mortal peril. Her face went pale and she began making excuses. Oh, well...
今日は沖宮の学校が創立記念日でして。
Today is the anniversary of the Okonomiya School's founding.
だから決して学校をサボったわけでは。
That's why I'm here. I never skip school.
なんでしたら沖宮の校長先生に確認してください。
Anyway, if you have any questions, feel free to ask the Okonomiya School principal.
園崎シオンがこの学校にお伺いするのはとても合法的な手続きを踏んでいますので。
They'll tell you that Shion Sonozaki visits the school through very legal channels. Shion was desperately tossing out excuses. When I saw that, I was honestly impressed, because even in the face of Chie-sensei's Medusa smile, her mouth could still move. It's absolutely terrifying.
それで私は今日は
So today I was,
そんなことはどうでもいいのです。
that doesn't really matter.
は？
Huh?
よその学校でも結構です。
Even if it's a different school, the result is the same.
アメリカンハイスクールからの転校生でもどこかの研究所で開発した試作型のメイドロボットがテスト運用でも私は一向に OK です。
Whether it's a transfer student from an American high school or a prototype maid robot developed at some research institute, I'll accept anyone that comes here.
むしろ問題なし。
It's actually no problem at all.
ウェルカムです。
Welcome. Shie-sensei's words were warm and very open-minded. With that, the temperature inside the classroom was slowly beginning to fall. But nobody wanted to say anything about that. It was best left unsaid.
そうですか？
Is that so?
よかった。
That's great.
ですが
However...
先ほど明らかにあなたのその声、その響き、その口調でつかぬことをふと耳にしたのですが、
Just a moment
彼は
ago...
何だと？
Just a moment ago, I heard something that sounded like your voice, but I couldn't make it out. Something about curry?
なんて言ったのか忘れちゃいました。
I forgot what I said.
ひょっとしたら気のせいかもしれませんので、
Perhaps it was just my imagination.
もう一度思い出してはっきりとよく聞こえるように一語一句嘘偽りなく言ってください。
Try to remember once more and speak clearly so I can hear every single word. Don't lie to me.
さあどうぞ。
Come now. Go ahead.
ちなみに嘘には厳罰が待っていますので、
By the way, there's a strict punishment waiting for liars.
桜の木をぶった切ったワシントンを見習って正直に答えてみてください。
Please, follow the example of Washington chopping down the cherry tree. Washington. I always say that weird. Chopping down the cherry tree and answer me honestly.
正直に言ったら
Answer honestly?
それが私の望みです。
That's what I'd like.
ただし正直に答えすぎると千利休みたく切腹になってしまう可能性もありますが、
Although, if you answer too honestly, you may end up committing seppuku, like Team Master Senno Rikyu.
そのあたりはきちんと配慮しておいてくださいとあらかじめ注意しておきますね。
So please be cautious and take it into consideration. She's in trouble either way.
先生、少し落ち着いて。
Sensei, please calm down.
落ち着いています。私は今この上なくクリアでクールな気分です。
I am calm. I feel completely cool and clear at the moment.
ご安心を。
Rest assured. Sensei, cool is not the word for it. More like cold. Or freezing. The entire class stood petrified before this horrifying sight. Even Mion and Satoko were afraid of springing an unexpected trap. This is bad. If things keep up like this, Shion's in real danger. So I think I can choose either one. I'm gonna go with, I'm not gonna say it was me. I'm not taking that kind of fall. I'm gonna just offer some advice. Fortunately, Chie-sensei was facing away from me. As soon as I noticed that, I quickly pulled a notebook out of my desk, wrote down a message, and held it up towards Shion. It said, "Just say it's good."
カレーは
Curry is...
カレーは
Curry is?
素晴らしい食べ物です。
An excellent food product.
人間の生み出した文化の英知です。
Made from the wisdom of human culture. Shion thought hard about it, and then finally uttered that phrase.
それは人類開闢以来不変の定理であります。
Indeed, it's one of the greatest inventions since the dawn of the human race.
では、あなたのカレーに対する思いをぜひ聞かせてもらいましょう。
Then let's hear what else you have to say about curry.
はい、どうぞ。
Go on now.
カレーライス。
Curry and rice.
大盛り4枚。
I'll take 4 large helpings, please. She was just making something up on the spot, of course, but the whole class was dumbfounded by that unusual answer. However, sensing some kind of kinship in a fellow curry lover, Chie-sensei's mood slowly started to improve, and the tense atmosphere began to dissipate.
よろしい。
Very well.
私の気のせいでしたね。
It was just my imagination.
では皆さん、楽しい昼食を。
Alright, everyone, enjoy your lunch. Lunches? Having said that, Chie-sensei smiled and then made her way out of the classroom. Next moment, Shion was released from her hellish shackles and helplessly slumped to the floor.
大丈夫かな、しーちゃん。
Are you alright, Shi-chan?
寿命が四半世紀は縮まりました。
That took a quarter century off my lifespan. It didn't even sound like an exaggeration. If this were a comic, her hair would have turned white by now.
まったく、少しは考えて発言してもらいたいものですわね。
Seriously, please think carefully before saying something like that.
一時はどうなることかと思いましたよ。
I thought you were a goner for a second there.
誰のせいだ、誰の。
And who started this? Who? Eek.
それ以上近づいたらまたこれを。
If you come any closer, I'll use this again. Satoko quickly reached out to where she had left the can of food, but once her hand came up empty, she turned back. Sure enough, right there.
お探しの品はこちらでしょうか。
Is this what you were looking for? With a smile on her lips, but a look in her eyes that clearly wasn't smiling at all, Shion held up the can that she grabbed long before. Looking more closely, her forehead was covered in deep wrinkles and oily sweat. Did she really hate canned food that much?
とりあえずこれはポイッと。
For now, let's get rid of this. Shion tossed the can out the window. Ah!
缶のポイ捨てはいけませんのよ。
You can't just throw the can away.
そうですね。
That's true.
でもまあここまで来たら私も本気ということで。
But if you're willing to go that far, I have to get serious too. And then a bomb went off apparently. Rumble. A shimmering aura emanated out of Shion's whole body as she slowly stepped forward. I could hear the sound of the wood bending underfoot with every step she took. The floor didn't creak, it sizzled unpleasantly. There's no way that could just be my imagination. Yeah, I wanted to think so.
覚悟しや、さとこ。
Prepare yourself, Satako. Yeah. She's going to die. She's definitely going to get killed. Flabbergasted by that display of raw power, Satoko bounded away at lightning speed. However,
富田、
Tomita,
岡村、
Akamura, On it! On Shion's signal, Tomita-kun and Akamura-kun both jumped to their feet at the same time and then stood in front of the entrance to the classroom. What?
富田さんと岡村さん
Tomita-san? Akamura-san?
すまん補助
Sorry, Hojo.
お前に恨みはないが許してくれ
It's nothing personal. Please forgive us.
どうして
Why? Huh? When Satoko looked back in a panic, Shion was standing a few steps behind, waving a colorful piece of paper near her face, with large, distinct text written on the paper. Oh, it says, Dessert Fest, all you can eat ticket.
さっきのセリフそ
Of
っくり
course.
返しますね。
Allow me to throw your own words back at you.
切り札は最後の最後に取っておく。
Always save your trump cards for the final moment. And then she died. Elapsed time, 18 minutes. Satoko Hojo resigns. As it turns out, the betting pool ended without a winner.
チェ今度こそ親の胴元独り占めのはずだったのに。
And I was supposed to have total control as a bookie this time. Mion dejectedly returned to her seat and began shoveling meatballs into her mouth. Oh yeah, the meatballs were out.
みーちゃん
Me-chan. A little demon. She's a little demon. Even Rina had mixed feelings on her face, looking astonished and wearing a bitter smile.
ミオンさすがにいくらなんでもやりすぎだろ
Mion, don't you think that was a bit much?
いいのいいの。
It's fine, it's fine.
さとこだって部活メンバーなんだからさ、これくらいの試練は耐えてみせないとね。
Satoko's a club member. She has to be capable of enduring this sort of trial.
シオンに関してはもっと論外。これくらい平気だって。
And as for Shion, something even more outrageous would have been perfectly acceptable.
おねえ、あんたにいつか天罰が下ることを祈ってますから。
Sis, I pray you receive your divine punishment someday. Shion flashed a resentful glare while passing Satoko a napkin. Since Satoko was on the verge of tears just a moment ago, Rina offered her a meatball out of respect for her fiery passion, and to say sorry about the squash lunch fiasco. There was a content smile on her face as she rubbed her stomach. Well, one way or another, I think they're a good combination. It was surprising to say the least, but nobody would doubt that they were actually sisters.
でもまあシオンが加わると賑やかでいいよな
Anyway, it's nice how lively it is when Shion shows up.
いっそのこと正式にこっちに転校してこいよ
In fact, it'd be nice if you officially transferred here.
そうしたいのは山々ですけど、さすがにばあさんが許してくれませんよ。
I really want to, but Granny would never allow it.
ご勘弁ですわ
Inexcusable.
たまにでも来るたびに大騒動ですのに毎日毎時間だとさすがに体が持ちませんことよビー
Coming here once in a while isn't such a big deal, but every hour, every day, my body can't hold out any longer. Bleh.
明日はアスパラガス弁当でいきましょうか。
How does asparagus sound for tomorrow's lunch?
もちろん生で、マヨネーズだけで。
Served raw, of course, topped with just mayonnaise.
ふわーレナさんシオンさんがいじめますのよ
Rina-san, Shion-san is bullying me.
さとこちゃんの泣き顔かわいい
How? Satoko-chan's crying face is so cute.
大丈夫だよレナが
It's alright, Rina will...
あら、こんなところにチケットが。
Oh my, just happen to have these tickets here.
デザートフェスタの招待券。
They're invitations to the Dessert Fest. I keep wanting to say Desert Fest. Swoosh.
お姉さんの言うことは聞いた方がいいよは
You need to listen to what your sister has to say, alright? How? Whoa, this is a fast change of heart. She already has the tickets in hand. Wow, Shion already figured out how to tame Rina?
卑怯でございますわよ
How cowardly.
物で人の関心を買おうなどと
Buying people's favor by leveraging their interests.
ルーズドッグの声が心地いいですね。
This yappy dog's voice is music to my ears.
シオンさんは横暴ですわ。
Shion-san, that's brutal.
リカ、あなたも何とか言ってくださいまし。
Rika, come on, say something here. Indeed, it was a lively, bustling lunch break. And on top of that, we had fun playing and competing seriously in our club activities. Normally, there'd be one more slightly meek person here with us, but these past few weeks, she wasn't here.
本当にどうしちゃったのかな、リカちゃん。
Seriously though, I wonder what's wrong with Rika-chan.
まあ今年の風はたち悪いって言うからね。
Well, they say that colds this year are particularly bad.
あんまり構いすぎてかえって無理させちゃかわいそうだしさ。
Caring too much would make her overexert herself. Won't do. Mion said that, but everyone already knew. The reason Rika-chan isn't feeling well is because she has some kind of problem. And as much as I'd like to lend her my help, I can't do anything without knowing the true nature of her troubles.
で、今リカちゃまは？
So, where's Rika-chan now? Or right now?
さあ、カバンまだあるみたいだし、帰ってはいないと思うけど。
Well, her bag is still here, so I don't think she went home.
さと。
Oh, Sato... When she noticed Satoko sulking right next to her, Shion tried to call out to her. But Satoko quickly raised her head with a cheerful smile on her face to shake off the hard feelings and spoke up.
まあ、そんなに心配することはございませんわ。
Anyway, there's nothing to worry about.
昨日の夜だってちゃんと夕食を召し上がりましたし、きっとそろそろ風邪も治ることだと思いますのよ。
We had a proper dinner together last night, so I'm sure her cold will get better soon.
さとこちゃん。
Satoko-chan.
そっか。
I see.
サトコがそう言うなら間違いないよな。
If Satoko says so, then there's no doubt about it.
よし。それなら風邪が治った時にはみんなで全開祝いやってやろうぜ。
Alright, let's all celebrate together once her cold clears up.
だね。だね。
Right? Right?
その時はレナも思いっきり腕振るっちゃうから。
And when that time comes, Rina is gonna squeeze her with all her strength.
それじゃあおじさんも盛大に美味しいものを準備しておくよ。
Alright then, this old man is gonna prepare a delicious treat.
おお、ミオンの盛大な料理。ジュル
oh, Mion's glorious cuisine. Drool.
もちろんサトコのはない。
Of course, Satoko can't have any.
俺が全部いただく。
It's all for me.
ケイ
Oh,
チさんは進歩がありませんわ。
Ketch-san, you'll do nothing of the sort.
極悪非道のシオンさんに鍛えられた私がそう簡単に勝利を譲ると思いまして。
I've been tempered by my experiences with the wicked Shion-san. Do you truly believe I'll yield so easily?
誰が極悪ですか？
Who are you calling wicked? What? Some crackling noise in there. What was the point of what? What's all that? Oh.
痛い痛い痛い痛い痛い。
Ow, 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 ow.
げんこつで頭ぐりぐりは反則ですわ。
Direct blow to the head is foul play. I was trying to see if I could.
痛い痛い痛い痛い痛い。げんこつで
See, it
頭
didn't
ぐ
do
り
it there.
ぐりは反則ですわ。
Strange. What was that crackling sound? Rina, ha 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 ha. Our rambunctious lunch break was filled with levity. Rika-chan, I don't know what's bothering you, but I'll be waiting until you decide to let me know. Rika, come back. Hey, you can blame it all on me. Rika, come back. I know you're missing Hanyu. Alright, I gotta end there. I'm tired of shit. It's a bit on the late side, but mostly I'm so fucking tired. I hated that I was yawning a couple times there through the stream. I have not been sleeping much this past week, so that's on me. But it's fine. I should probably tomorrow night. I should be able to sleep in. I think I mentioned earlier, I'm taking Thursday, just a random Thursday off. So a nice midweek day off where I'll be able to, in theory, sleep in and all that jazz. So that should be good. But the streams don't stop tomorrow. Hopefully I'll start a bit earlier tomorrow. We'll read some more Higurashi. We'll play some, probably, it's been a little while. So probably some Valkyria Chronicles 4. I know I'm not gonna choose anything this week because we're doing all this Higurashi reading. But at some point, I mean, really, now we've only got on the channel this and Valkyria Chronicles and technically Crash Bash 200% challenge, which needs to come back soon here at some point too. But yeah, it's kind of hard. I don't want to commit to something too deep or heavy when I'm still like I said, this Higurashi thing is going to be a main focus for the next few weeks probably. So I don't know if it's going to be as hard and as deep as I've been going these past several days, but yeah, it's I'm serious about reading all these things. So we'll see though. We'll see. But tomorrow, the plan, hopefully starting quite a bit earlier, and also we'll read some Higurashi. We'll play some Valkyria Chronicles. Call it a great Wednesday. Thanks for watching as always. Hope you're enjoying. You know I am. And until tomorrow night, sleep easy.